Hey everyone, Christina here. Thanks for tuning in. Today you might want to get a pencil and paper because I'm going to share with you something I've been teasing you with, and that is my Christina's Psycho Strategies for Self-Help. And those will be a mashup of what I have picked and choose throughout many years from many different types of therapies that I found useful and finally found like a mashup that worked that I thought could be helpful, and maybe you'll find it helpful too. So anyway, to begin, I should mention that this strategy for me personally probably wouldn't have worked had it not been on medication. That's just me personally with my diagnosis. But perhaps another person it would have worked, or it will work, I should say, without meds. Okay, so let's begin. So, I am a deep thinker, and I think too much. I overthink. I love to think. And I've been trying to figure out how can I do the one thing I really want to do, but I can't do, and that is meditate. I love when I envy people that say they meditate, they get this sense of calm and everything. I can't get much past 25 seconds, and then I'm just like gone. And then I'm frustrated, and so it's something I've always wanted to do, but I couldn't do it. So I started thinking about it. I happened to download an app on my phone, and it was a guided app of meditation, and the person leading the app was saying, just let the thoughts disappear. And in my mind, I was thinking thoughts, racing thoughts, thoughts, bipolar thoughts, right? But then, when I turned off that app, I thought thoughts. And I was like, then I went to Pavlov's dogs. I know this sounds totally, where did she come up with that? But think about Pavlov's dogs, and before you think, oh, where's she going with this? Well, Ivan Pavlov, let me give you a little brief refresher course, Russian physiologist that, would put a little harness on dogs, and he would judge their salivation when he would give them food and to a noise and so forth. He also studied people, and, he would see if they would flinch. For instance, when he would pop a balloon, would they do this? Okay, I'm not going to go into that real deep, but anyway, I thought, wow, okay, well, humans really are superior to dogs. Dogs are smart, but humans are smarter. So these thoughts, why can't I manage my thoughts? Granted, I am given right now the ability with antipsychotics and mood stabilizers, so that definitely helps. So armed with that, I'm going to conquer this. So here's what I said about doing. Step one. I apologize, by the way, for my dog barking in the background. Step one was to honestly say in my brain that these were only thoughts. They had no power over me. They were not real of anything. For instance, racing thoughts, looping thoughts, thoughts that were worrisome or whatever, they were just thoughts. So I was going to give them the power to be worrisome or whatever they were at one time a day. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, it didn't matter. I happened to say 5 o'clock. And I would say at 5 o'clock, you can worry, but you're not going to worry any time before that. So I would say, okay, here a thought comes in. Oh my gosh, I don't know. You can't, right now you're not welcome. At 5 p.m. you can come. I know it sounds so simplistic, but that's what I would do. Now, the first couple days, it'd be kind of hard to convince myself, but after the first couple days, I would honestly, it worked. I kid you not. And then after like a week and beyond, I had less and less thoughts. Now, in conjunction with this, I started to try to meditate. Now, I didn't go all deep with the, I didn't have high expectations, but what I did do is this. So, this is step 2. First step was give the thoughts a time they're allowed to think and manifest. Step 2 is this. I downloaded an app on my phone, and it was real simple. It was free, and it was a bell timer. It was a timer, and it had a meditation bell, and it didn't have a guided meditation or anything like that. It was just a timer, and it had a bell, and it was just like a real simple boom, pleasant, and also had a different sound, there were several different sounds, and it had another one that I chose that was unpleasant, and it was kind of like loud and icky, and I am very sensitive to sounds. I don't like loud, harsh sounds at all. That's part of my PTSD, but that's for another video and another time and whatever. But so I chose these 2 sounds, and so I downloaded the video, and I set the timer for 1 minute, and the nice bell for the beginning and the end of the video. I sat down. I didn't go for the whole, I didn't go really expecting to be able to go through it, but I sat down. I put on a pair of noise canceling headphones for the positive video and put them on, and all of a sudden this bell went off, and I thought, I am just going to touch my stomach and I'm going to count my breaths, because I knew I had to have something to focus on besides just like being peaceful in my mind, because that would never work. So I started counting my breaths and thinking, how far am I going to get before these thoughts start flipping me out, just overpowering? How far before my bipolar just takes over this whole exercise? I was amazed. I truly was amazed when the timer went off, the nice bing bell. When it went off and it was done, I was shocked, and I was blown away, and I felt incredible. Like, I turned it off and I felt so good. Well, I did this, and the next day, I didn't do the bad one the first day. The next day in the morning, I did the good one, and then midday, I did the bad one. And what I did was, same time, I allowed myself, and the reason I did the bad one is because I've been bipolar I have had bipolar, I say I've been bipolar to myself, but I realize it's a bad way to talk. But anyway, I do allow it to have its time, because I feel like I have to treat it with respect and not totally alienate it, because it's real. And to totally believe it's going to be gone would be unrealistic. And I don't want to do that either, because it's here to stay for the time being. Anyway, I told myself that, okay, it gets the same time, different bell, but no headphones. Doesn't get that benefit. It gets the distractions, whatever, because, well, that's just the way the game is played. So I started, and I said, you can have all the racing thoughts you want. So when I started and I heard the gong, I hated the loud sound. But the weird thing is that it really didn't give me any kind of pleasure. I went through it, did that whole thing. And when it was over, I just sort of ended it, and I felt weird. Well, so I did this whole thing for about a week and a half, and after about 4 days of the gong with the displeasure, the bad Tasmanian devil self of me, I couldn't do anymore. I would hear the bad gong and I would just like cringe. And instead, I actually found myself, when I would hear the bad gong, I would want to start breathing like I did on the good one. It was actually fascinating. And so I took the bad gong off altogether, stopped doing it, and only did the good one. Now, I can honestly say that it's been 5 years, and it didn't take me 5 years to get up to this. And I don't do it daily. Some days I don't do it at all. But I can honestly say I've gotten up to 20 minutes of meditation. I know for a lot of people that's not a lot, but for me that's amazing. And sometimes I have to do guided, sometimes I don't, but it has given me a sense of self and accomplishment that has made such a huge difference. So anyway, I feel like my bipolar trigger finger is just like, I don't know. It's been a great experience for me, and it's figuring myself out has really been a healing experience. And if it works for you, I think that would be awesome. So have a great rest of the day, and I hope you come back, and I hope I can share more for you. Talk to you later.